They didn't give you a...
See, here's your microphone over here, I think, this one.
All right, we're good.
There we go.
We call this meeting of the Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District to order. Would the clerk please call the roll to establish a quorum?
Good morning. Directors Ashby, Bruins, Frost, here. Guerra, Harris, here. Hume, here. Kennedy, here. Lee, here. McGarvey, here. Morin, Nottoli, here. Orozco, Peters, here. Serna, here. Villegas, here. Warren, Carr, here. And you have a quorum.
For the last time in 2017, would you please stand and salute the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting of the Sacramento Regional County Sanitation and Sacramento Area Sewer Districts is being broadcast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast, Consolidated Communications, and AT&T U-verse cable systems. The meeting is closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers and webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Today's meeting will replay Sunday, December 17th at 6 p.m. on Channel 14. In accordance with Government Code 54952.3, compensation for meeting of these legislative bodies is required to be verbally disclosed. The amount of $100 will be paid for each member participating today as a member of the Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District, and the amount of $100 will be paid for each board member participating today as a member of Sacramento Area Sewer District. Compensation for Sacramento County Supervisors and the City of Sacramento Council members is paid to the county and the city respectively to partially offset the cost of those governments. Compensation for other board members is delivered to the individuals. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should fill out a speaker identification form located at the back of chambers and hand it to the clerk. Please speak into the microphone when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Please silence your electronic devices at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. I regret to inform those people who are anxiously waiting for the meeting to start that we must adjourn to closed session. We'll be right back. Anybody come back? All right, we reconvene from closed session. General Counsel, is there anything to report?
Nothing to report out.
All right, thank you. Would you call the first item?
Yes, acting as Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District, your district consent matters are items 1 through 10.
Any questions, comments?
Move consent.
Spending millions of dollars, millions of millions.
Have a motion from Mr. Harris and second by Ms. Frost. No further discussions. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously.
Item number 11, acting as Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District, introduce amendments to the Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District Consolidated Ordinance.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chair and Board members. Christoph Dodson, Director of Policy and Planning for Regional SAN. This is an update to our ordinance. It's basically some changes to support our strategic plan efforts. We have a goal of regional partnerships and collaboration, and within that goal, there's an objective that's specifically regarding economic development. And the significant change in this ordinance amendment is to allow industrial users to finance their impact fees over 30 years. We do have that provision in the ordinance now, but it's for 2 years. So this makes it at least very affordable up front for a new industrial user to come in, or an existing industrial user that might be expanding their operations and needing to pay additional impact fees. So that's the primary change. There are also some minor clarifications, but really that's what it's focused on. We're working on a separate effort to address commercial impact fees as well, but that does not require an ordinance change. It's related to our non-rate, non-fee policy, so that's part of our non-rate, non-fee policy, so we'll be bringing back information on that at a later time. Today is the introduction to the ordinance. As you've heard these come through before, it's a two-step process. The ordinance would, if you approve the introduction at this meeting, then on January 10th, we would come back with the ordinance for adoption. And with that, I'd answer any questions you have.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? So we need a motion to continue?
No, you're introducing the ordinance.
Say again?
You need a motion to introduce the ordinance.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
So moved.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Let's start the celebration.
Well, Ruben's going to say a few words, and you're probably wondering why you have a cookie placed in front of you, and Ruben will explain why.
Good morning. You have some sweets in front of you we wanted to share with you. Can I have the presentation for item 12, please? It's an exciting time for us. It's a milestone for the district, and I'm waiting for the presentation. The milestone is that we have completed a very, very significant project, which is the project to convert from gaseous disinfection chemicals to liquid. As your board knows, your board approved a change to this process back in 2013, and we moved forward with the planning, design, and then recently completion of this project. For decades, we have been using chlorine and sulfur dioxide on site, and here's an aerial of our rail yard area. At the peak of demand, we would have 18 rail cars of chlorine and 13 rail cars of sulfur dioxide. We made this change for one major reason: for the protection of the community and our employees. Now, we've never had any incidents, but as we know, since 9/11, safety and security is very, very important. So we have moved away from this. Just recently completed the project. So the project includes bringing in liquid chemicals, the liquid form of both of these chemicals. So this is on site at the plant. We built very large storage tanks. We receive many trucks of chemical every day, sodium hypochlorite in this case, and this is what we use to kill the bacteria, the virus, whatever's alive in the wastewater. So now we're feeding liquid from this facility, and this came online earlier this year. I'm sorry, this one came online just last week in mid-November, I should say. So we just finished commissioning this facility, and it's fully operational. This is where we add the neutralizing chemical, sodium bisulfite. And so we add that just before the wastewater goes to the river. We neutralize the chlorine in the wastewater, and then the water goes into the river for the reuse. This one was finished earlier in the year. So we're very excited because this was a major project. As your board knows, this was discretionary. It was part of the EcoWater project, but only for efficiency of construction. But this was a discretionary decision. It's actually more expensive to use liquid chemicals than gaseous. But again, for the safety of the community and our staff, this is what we decided to do. So you should have in front of you some cookies, and it's a photograph kind of like this a little bit anyway. This was one of our last rail cars on site. You see me right in the middle and the tall guy right behind me overlooking my shoulder, and we're very excited about that. So these were some of the staff that were involved in managing the chlorine and sulfur dioxide area, as well as some of our EcoWater staff that helped implement the project. So as of Saturday, we have no more rail cars on site. We had 5 full rail cars that we just returned to the vendor in Southern California. So we are done with these chemicals, and again, very happy that we are. So any questions?
Thank you. We do have a question. Director
Yes.
Harris.
So, Ruben, when I took my first tour of the regional sand plant, I got there and we were walking around, and you explained to me that that was gaseous chlorine in all those rail cars. I swallowed pretty hard because that was truly dangerous, and I just want to laud the efforts of everybody, staff, everybody who worked on the project to convert to liquid. It's so much safer. I think everybody in Elk Grove can breathe a sigh of relief. That was an accident that, if it ever did happen, would have been incredible disaster. It would have been very toxic. So good job, and thank you for getting it done.
Thank you, Director Harris, and I actually have to thank staff. They're the ones that did all the work, and you're right. I don't in my tenure, 26 years, I don't think I've ever shown a photograph like this, because we always were very discreet with it, and so we're very happy about it. Thank you.
Director McGarvey.
Yes, I was going to say thank you for that too, because after 9/11, that definitely could be used as a weapon, and that's one way that can't be used anymore. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Lee.
Ruben, I just want to say, thank you very much. The tour that I went on with you was very informative, and certainly along the lines of what the director had mentioned about the possibilities of harm that may come to the city of Elk Grove, and I'm more than excited to hear this. So thank you much.
Thank you.
And thanks for the cookie.
That goes to the boss, I think. He has to take the credit. Thank you.
Any further comments from directors? Congratulations.
I just wanted to say that over the last 35 plus years, we've saved the community hundreds of millions of dollars by the gas, but still that is not enough to not keep this, to keep this around. There aren't very many times we say we lose sleep over things. This is one of those, where I can even say I lost a few strands of hair too, but Ruben says he's got gray hair because of this.
They're coming in.
So I'm going to count his gray hair. They need to go back to black. So anyway, it's a momentous occasion, and I wanted to celebrate with all the staff and of course with your board. So we distributed those cookies to every one of our staff to enjoy, and also remember the hard work that the people have put in to not only convert it, but to manage this over the long period of time. It is no small feat to go in, suit up if there was a leak so that it doesn't get out of the room, and make sure the community is kept safe. So there's a lot of process that people had gone through, and no longer. And like you said, when we do the tours, we don't have anyone taking pictures of those for obvious reasons. And now we can say, take as many pictures as you want in that direction. Thank you. Thank you for all your support. I know you had to make this decision for us to do this.
You mean the cookies, right?
I have one in my office.
Thank you. Good job. Steve, are you punched up still? And Patrick Hume?
There you go. Let me correct.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I just wanted to thank staff. As was mentioned, not only is this safer for the residents of Elk Grove with this being in such close proximity, but also it should be mentioned what a safer work environment it is for our employees. And so even a minor incident could have had disastrous results for them. So thank you very much.
Okay, congratulations, Prebacher. Great job. I've
It's
been
a staff that did
exposed
all
to
the
some
great
of these gases in the military. It's ugly. Next item 13, comments from the public on issues not on the agenda. I have no cards, so we'll proceed to item 14.
Item number 14, acting as Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District and Sacramento Area Sewer District, miscellaneous director and district engineer matters.
Just a couple of quick notes. As the chair has alluded to, we do not have a second board meeting this month. So the next board meeting is January 10th, where there will be a new chair and vice chair election that happens. And also, just to let you know that this water fix project is still being heard at the state board. There's a phase 2, and the district, Regional San, has filed briefings, the testimonies of a number of us, including Ruben and I. We're going to be testifying in person related to water fix project. I think it's going to start late January. We just don't know where the project will end. I mean, your guess is as good as anybody else's guess. So I just wanted to let you know where we are with that.
We just hope it ends before it starts.
Thank you.
Everybody's looking for January 2019.
Let's call the next item.
Acting as Sacramento Area Sewer District, your district consent matters are items 15 through 18.
Just sewer district members, do we have a Mr. Nottoli?
Yeah, and just before we take I'm prepared to make a motion on the consent calendar. I just wanted to highlight on items 16 and 18 as it relates to Freeport, and we've had a couple of community meetings, certainly our staff, both Christoph and Prabhakar and a whole lot of other folks, some are in the audience today, a meeting with Freeport residents, property owners and business owners. We took a run at this about 10 years ago, and unfortunately at that time the costs were too out of reach for many of the property owners, but I think through some of the good work that our staff has done, through some of the opportunities that come through grant monies and so forth, it looks like we have the pretty solid proposal, one that seems to enjoy pretty good, at least initial support, and these actions will allow us to advance on that. And I know that it abuts your district, Mr. Carr, in the city, and we've been working very diligently, and should have some good things to report in the spring as we continue to move forward. We had a community meeting a week ago, and a very good reception by business owners, property owners, and residents, and they're pretty excited. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out, but I move the consent calendar.
I would like to add a little bit more relevant discussion. The opportunities here, because of the Prop 1 state grants, there's a number of communities in our service area or adjoining our service areas that can get either 75% or 100% grant. A couple of them are in Director Kennedy's district in Florin. So as we pursue, we're going to be reaching out to you and seeking your involvement in reaching out to the community and offering essentially, this is what's available, and this is a short window opportunity. We have to do this by 2021, 2022 is when the funds will expire. Our goal is to bring as many communities as possible off of the septic tanks and into the sewer system with a very little to no cost if possible. That's what we're going to do. That's what we started with the Freeport. The next up are the Florin town, the old Florin, and there's some areas there, and then we're also looking at other areas.
Director Nottoli, was that a motion?
Yes.
Do we have a second?
Consent calendar.
Have a motion and a second for the consent calendar. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously.
Acting as Sacramento Area Sewer District, introduce proposed amendments to the Sacramento Area Sewer District Consolidated Ordinance.
Good morning, it's me again. This is a very similar item to the one for Regional San. Again, it allows the 30-year financing of industrial impact fees. The one additional item for SASD is that along with the non-rate, non-fee policy that your board approved a little while back, there was a new program developed, the Sewer Lifeline Rate Assistance Program, and so there's now some text in the ordinance that gives us authority to manage that program. So SASD now has the rate assistance program as well, like Regional does. Same time frame. This is the first step in the in the introduction of the ordinance, and if you approve it today, we would be bringing back the final ordinance for adoption on January 10th.
Do we have a motion to continue?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Abstentions. Motion carries unanimously.
And that is your last item.
That's it? We're
Any
done?
questions? Any comments? Seeing none, we will wish everyone happy holidays, and we will see you on January the 10th, 2018. This meeting is
you.
adjourned.